What is going on? Welcome to another episode of Our Brains Hurt. Thank you so much for hanging out. Last week we were off. It was a rare missed week for Our Brains Hurt. We've only had about 3 or 4 of them in the 4 years that we've been doing this show, but that's okay because we are back and better than ever. And I just want to say we really appreciate all of our listeners, our weekly listeners. You guys keep us going. We're turning 4 years old next month, and you guys are the best. We love you. Thank you so much for tuning in, for downloading, for streaming, whatever you do. For commenting on our stuff on Facebook, on Instagram. We love you guys. You're the best. Thank you so much. We do have a couple shows coming up at the end of this month for you guys. August 24th at the Pie Shop in DC. We are hosting Houston and the Dirty Rats, Steel Boy, 40 Reps, Keep Your Secrets. That's August 24th. It's a Saturday night in the Pie Shop in DC. Get your tickets at pieshopdc.com. We hope to see you there. It's going to be a rad show. You know the bands. You love the bands. Come out, hang out. If you're in the Baltimore area, the next Saturday, August 31st, the last day of this lovely month, you can see my new band, The Blanks, opening for Professor Goldstein, The Lousketeers, and Dead End Lane at the Depot in Baltimore, August 31st. My first time back on stage in 5 years. I would love to see as many familiar faces as I can looking out into the crowd as I embarrass myself playing the bass again. But love you guys. Hope to see you at both of those shows. That's the business. Now, let's get to this show.
Well, they needed a jingle for their stupid little show, so they called up the Jasons and we said, fuck no. Then they called us again and they gave us $20 and we wrote them a song that said, your podcast sucks. Then they gave us more money and they asked us really nice and we finally gave in and we said, alright, I'll write you a song, but it's gonna be a clone of a Screeching Weasel song that we heard a while ago. So we wrote them a jingle and it sounded really rad. It was the best little jingle that their podcast ever had, but the file got corrupted and the email didn't work. Now they're stuck without a jingle singing Our Brains Hurt. Our brains hurt, our brains hurt, our brains hurt. Our brains hurt, our brains hurt, our brains hurt. Our brains hurt, our brains hurt, our brains hurt. Our brains hurt, our brains hurt, our brains hurt. In a very non-copyright infringing sort of way.
Oh, I'm going to let Oz in.
All right, cool.
All right. When was the last time we talked to Oz? It's been a while.
It is
There he
been
is,
like,
sir.
It's like,
Okay.
hey, it's been like April.
oh,
Yeah.
nice.
It's been a
Hey,
minute.
You sound better than you ever
Yeah.
have, by the way.
I was gonna say the same exact thing. Your audio
Yeah.
sounds so much better than it ever has.
Yeah, well, for editing purposes, I'm glad your landlord died. So, all right, so let's get on with this episode.
Start this one off with a bang.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
All right, so what are we doing tonight? What's
Well, you guys remember
Oz is
when,
back.
You
Oz
guys
is
remember
back.
when I'm back?
Hell
Remember
yeah.
remember when I sent that? It was like something off the Instagram about like Satanic Panic in the 90s or some shit.
Yeah.
And it was like Cliff, I think Dr. Phil or something like that, and had that one fucking kid who
Oh yeah.
was like the poster boy for the Edgelords,
We are
trying to be all edgy and shit.
once again in full-blown satanic panic.
Hell yeah.
So so I basically thought, and I've been talking to Matt about this for on and off for the last couple of months, and it's like, all right, so let's go through that and kind of dissect it. I can't find the exact link, but we can just spitball it, and we're gonna probably alienate some of the audience. I don't know. We'll just have to look forward to that.
Good.
On a side note, what are we drinking tonight?
I'm drinking this Cutwater lime margarita in a can.
Okay.
It's
those are good.
12.5%. Yeah.
Those are
So I
good.
went to the liquor store today. And I've looked for the lime ones, but I've only found the mango ones. I've been drinking the mango ones for a few weeks now. And I was at a liquor store earlier and I almost shit my pants. I don't know what. I had Chinese food. Ever since my surgery, Chinese food, I can't do it. I don't know what it is, but like I had it early and I puked earlier. And I'm standing in this liquor store looking for this margarita shit, and I'm like, I can feel my stomach bubbling. I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Oh, gave you the bubble.
Luckily, see the man pond. What the man pond does is it provides you the extra few minutes. You could go into the danger zone with the man pond for about 5 to 15 seconds and be okay. If anybody is still listening at this point, thank you so much.
We're only 10 minutes in.
But anyway, I found the lime and I got a couple 4-packs of it. So that's what I'm drinking tonight.
Good shit, Matt.
What about you, Matt? What are you drinking?
I'm not drinking anything.
All right.
I have no booze right now.
How is that possible?
I've had some life changes. I need money, but that's going to change here very soon. So
I got you.
I have this mason jar that's got some water in it.
Nice.
And then just to have something a little crazy, somebody had left this Bang energy drink in my fridge that I look at every time I open my fridge because I don't really drink energy drinks, and see it, and it's just been sitting there forever, just sitting there and sitting there. So I said, "Fuck it, it's going tonight. I'm not gonna fucking look at this thing anymore." It's actually
Bang's all right.
Yeah, it's a. I didn't even realize it's pina colada flavored. And
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
It is actually pretty good.
Nice.
I'm back on the Mountain Dew hard seltzers, and
okay,
this is after having some adventures with alcohol, and by that I mean like
tell me about your adventures,
trying new things. Well, I got very excited because I was at the store the other day and I saw an Arizona green tea hard tea.
Really?
Yes.
So they're doing hard teas now. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it was fucking disgusting.
Oh,
it was one of the worst things I've ever one of the worst pieces of alcohol I've ever drinking. And I told you the stories about my
Have you had
like,
twisted tea? Twisted tea?
I've had twisted tea. This is not twisted tea. This is not.
Okay.
Wow. I've been curious about that because I like
terrible.
I really like the big ass Arizona green teas. I used to drink those all the time, and I knew this was coming out. I haven't had one, but I've been curious how it was going to be because I like twisted tea too.
Yeah, it's not twisted. It's not twisted tea. It tastes like fucking cough syrup, not the good kind.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it was terrible. Oh god, it was not cheap. It was cheap. It was like $3. It wasn't bad. The price wasn't bad, but it's in an actual Arizona size can, like the regular cans.
Okay.
And I'm like, I can't do this. And I tried drinking a little bit of it to see if it got better. It didn't.
Yeah.
And then I had another adventure with Great Lakes Brewing. In the past, I've actually had some of their stuff and it was okay, but they released the Firecracker popsicle flavor and not good either.
Okay. Bomb pop, you mean? Like the bomb pops? The red, white, and blue?
Yes, that one.
Okay,
yeah. I heard. Yeah, you had that too.
Yeah, the one of my Great Lakes Brewing. I've still got it. I'll save it and give it to you at some point. But yeah, it was not good. I'm not going to drink these.
Yeah, I probably won't like it.
Let me just say one thing about all you pumpkin fans. They're here. They're coming out. Every liquor store I go to, there's like one or two. They're lingering. They're starting to like little roaches.
Matt,
they're starting to come out. I was in Kentucky these past few days, helped my daughter move into her house from an apartment, and it was like the shipyard had their pumpkin stuff out. The Kentucky was it Kentucky? Barrow, whatever the fuck. I don't know.
You weren't kidding about that house, dude. That house looks fucking amazing. Yeah.
Dude, and they have a ginormous basement. An unfit. I was like, we're gonna have a show in that. We're playing punk rock in that basement. Sometime in the next 2 years, we're playing a punk rock show in that basement. Yeah, it's a crazy looking house. It's like right across the street from the stadium too. Like, great location. So,
dude, I was going through the checkout line at BJ's, and they have the fucking pumpkin spice coffee up in the big ass wholesale bags. I was like, what the fuck? It's July.
No, it's August, son. It's fucking August.
It was July when this happened. It was last week.
August is the transition. August is the bridge month from summer to pumpkin.
Matt is just waiting for that Dunkin' Pumpkin this year.
Oh, so good.
I love that.
You might get your wish soon because fucking Christmas in July is a thing, and now it's pumpkin
forever
starts at the end of July. So hooray! Oh, by the way, I found the video. Matt, Ron, you actually sent this. It was from Totally Edie's room. Warning signs of satanic behavior. Should we play it?
Yeah.
The warning signs of satanic behavior.
Warning signs of satanic behavior may be apparent, such as a sudden, bitterly antagonistic attitude towards family and religion, a drastic decline in academic performance, a reclusive behavior pattern, and listening exclusively to heavy metal rock music, almost to the point of addiction. When one or more of these warning signs are evident, you should look further for ritual items such as a pentagram or other satanic symbols, black or red robes, a decorative dagger or knife, a chalice or goblet, black candles, a personal diary with a black cover, which is called a Book of Shadows, and copies of publications such as the Satanic Bible and the Satanic Rituals, and possibly a small makeshift altar. If you discover items such as these, experts advise you contact your local law enforcement agency at once.
Yes.
I was like, I like didn't have like one of those.
Everybody knows that our Brains Hurt listeners, Matt and I, we worship two things. We worship, number one is booze. Number two is Satan. Satan got shit on booze, but we love him second.
No,
My
I'm sorry. Oh,
My favorite thing ever is like there's that picture of that big sign that's outside of like the Westboro Baptist Church. You remember those people?
Yeah.
And it says like it's like, or at least this sign was there for a while. It says like these people are going to hell, right?
yeah.
And you go down the sign, and it's like one of the lists was Satan worshipers.
Mm.
And I was like, are Satan worshipers supposed to feel offended by that?
That's their heaven.
Like that's
Yeah.
Like
thank you, sir.
Satan worshipers get sent to hell, and hell's like, the fuck? Like we're trying to get souls here. Like we got to put these people in middle management.
Yeah. The best depiction of hell that I remember ever was I remember that watching The Simpsons, and remember when Homer goes to hell and he has to eat all the donuts in existence.
Yeah.
And he's like, more.
Yeah. It's like shoving it in his mouth. Yeah. Yeah, weren't the guys like doing it or whatever? The little demon, they're like, "What is going?"
Yeah, like what they're shoveling all these donuts into his mouth.
Like,
he's just like more, and they're like, we're done. We're out of donuts.
What do we do?
Well, I can find several things wrong with this ad that you sent us, Ron. Well, people could just have knives because reasons. I don't think that's really indicative of anything aside from wanting to have them for practical purposes.
Wait, people who have knives are going to hell?
Apparently, according to this,
switchblades.
I have so many.
I'm
knives.
going to hell. Yeah, I gave my daughter a switchblade, so she's going to hell too. So I'll see her there. So that's cool.
I got a big ass one right over there. I got fucking basically a switchblade right over there. Switchblades are legal in Virginia now. That's cool.
So they're legal in Maryland too, but you can't bring them out of state or you can't buy them, but you could own them.
Huh. Okay.
Which is dumb. I own a few. I'm Italian. I have switchblades. That's what we do. We make pasta. We own switchblades. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. So on that note,
how satanic are we?
Yeah, us or collectively the three of us or our listener base, if we're still there, recalls anything from our discussions through the Aether, our journeys through the Aether. I've given a definition of what the term actually means. It's an old Hebrew word that means enemy, and that has kind of got amalgamated into refer to a lot of different things. I don't know, Eric, but I've also heard that al shaitan is a very similar word. That in it's still used in the Middle East to refer to enemy. So that's off of a secondhand source. So I can't really validate that right now. But so that can mean a lot of things. But I think what it means in the context of our culture is that it refers to anything, with Satan and witchcraft or occultism or whatever. But seeing as how that they it tends to refer to those things specifically, I think we should just kind of go through just the topics that we've talked about and some of our interests that we've discussed on the show and just kind of figure out how satanic or enemyific we are.
Yeah. Okay. It's great. So do you guys remember there used to be an NHL player named Miroslav Zlatan, but his last name was spelled Satan.
Yes.
You guys remember that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he had a son and he named him after himself. So it's Miroslav Zlatan Jr.
Mhm.
And the Caps just drafted him.
Oh, nice.
You have Satan Jr.
So if that dude makes the NHL, I am fucking buying that jersey. That is happening.
Satan Jr. That's the greatest jersey.
Yeah,
of all time.
yeah. That is happening.
Oh yeah.
There's a Japanese cartoon called Dragon Ball Z, and there's a character in there named Mr. Satan, and he's anything but he's a fucking clown.
Yeah.
And a fraud. But I found the report on the internet from FBI agent Ken Lanning when the Satanic Panic was in full swing in the 80s and 90s.
Mhm.
And this is pretty funny. But it's kind of like a field guide for law enforcement to kind of understand what, satanic crimes and things like that. Because I think to some small extent that some of those kinds of crimes probably did occur. The Son of Sam is alleged to have a lot of satanic activity around. If you guys ever read the book,
Oh yeah.
what is it, the Ultimate Evil by Maury Terry? I think that's it. I think it's the name of the book. But they did a Netflix special on it, and it's entertaining. I don't know how. I listened to the book. It sounds all right. It was all right. I had fun listening to it. I don't really know. It's a lot of he did a lot of legwork, and it seems like with the research, I just don't know how far it's gonna go, or any of the connections that he makes are gonna ever be flushed out, or there's gonna things gonna ever come of them. But anyways, but there's a list. He has a list of things of definitions for the word satanic, and so he starts off by saying the words satanic, occult, and ritual are often used interchangeably. There we go. But yeah. The Ayatollah Khomeini and Saddam Hussein referred to the United States as the Great Satan. So there's another use for it. In the book called Prepare for War by Dr. Rebecca Brown, which is a chapter entitled Is Roman Catholicism Witchcraft? All right, well, we don't know. It could be, but I don't know.
It is.
All right, well,
I guess that one senator's got to go after himself then.
Which one?
Or maybe Senator Hopeful, the Asian dude from what fucking state? He's not a senator. Sorry, he's maybe a governor or something. I can't remember what it is, but he invoked some 300-year-old witch hunt law that was still on the books somehow to arrest a woman for witchcraft. And the senator, he's a governor. That's what it is. And the senator, I can't remember what state. And the senator for that state immediately pardoned all of it for her and was like, "This is fucking ridiculous. Like, what are you doing?" Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because we, like I said, I was in Kentucky this past week with my daughter, and we were, her roommate's parents wanted to meet us at this restaurant. It was about 30 minutes outside of Lexington, and we were driving. My daughter and I were driving to go meet them, and we're middle of nowhere, Kentucky, like trying these really weird, windy roads, like all these. Like I jokingly said to my daughter, I was like, "Are we going to a fucking Klan rally? Like, where the fuck are we going right now?" And she laughed at me. I was like, "Don't laugh because they don't like Catholics either. Because we're like, Catholics are like, they think of Catholics as like as almost like witches because we have like saints and all that weird shit and like,
witch,
yeah."
Hey guys, Trev from the Struggling Artist Podcast, and I want to talk to you real quick about Struggling Artist Record Club. The Struggling Artist Record Club is a vinyl record subscription service where I hunt and curate the best punk and punk-adjacent music out there and mail their record to your door each and every month. Imagine finding your new favorite band from across the country without ever having to leave the house. It doesn't get much better than that. The excitement of discovering new music just got that much easier. As a member of the Struggling Artist Record Club, you are going to receive some of the best music you've ever heard from bands you may never even heard of. Whether you've been collecting records for years or just starting out, the Struggling Artist Record Club is designed specifically for you. And right now, all new members get a Struggling Artist Record Club exclusive along with the monthly selection. So head to StrugglingArtistRecordClub.com, pick a membership, and start building that collection today.
Dr. Brown also lists among the doorways to satanic power and demon infestation the following: fortune tellers, horoscopes, fraternity oaths, vegetarianism, yoga, self-hypnosis, relaxation tapes, acupuncture, biofeedback, fantasy role-playing games, adultery, homosexuality, pornography, judo, karate, and rock music.
Any sexual position except missionary.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't I just put sex in there and be done with it?
It's so funny because it's like these lists always, to me, I'm like,
Oh no, that wasn't the full list. That was just,
right.
That was just a couple.
Right. But all these lists that say stuff like this, you read them every once in a while.
Yeah.
It's like everything that's on these lists is like fun stuff.
Yeah.
Like entertaining, fun stuff throughout life. And like, I get it. Probably not the best idea for a human being to just focus on all those things. Like probably a good idea to like, work hard and do a lot of the other stuff that, all these places are trying to tell you. These are the only things you can do in life.
Yeah.
Like you probably need a little mix of both, but like, come on, like fucking vegetarianism, acupuncture. Like, are you really a dumb enough human being to believe that those two things are satanistic?
I bet eating ass is fucking.
Oh, that's like number 3 on the list.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be.
Yeah.
I'm a Satanist if that's the case. Like.
Also, too, it's fun. It's like religions, the names of their gods are like all different.
Yeah.
But the name of Satan like isn't. I mean, some
has oddly remained the same throughout all of them.
Yeah. That's weird. That's always been weird to me. I'm like,
all right,
what do you guys think is hell? You think so? Like
we're in it right now.
Yeah. Well, that's very possible. I mean, I believe we live in a simulation. That's 100% my belief. Like you can goof on me all you want. You can make fun of me. That's literally what I believe.
Yep.
Whatever. Like I'm wearing this pink shirt and I'm acting like an asshole drunk because we live in a simulation. I don't give a fuck. But I also believe your heaven is whatever you think it is, because if it's not what you think it is, you're just dead and it doesn't matter anyway. So what is your hell? Like if your hell like, do you actually go see the devil and you like fucking work for him, or is your hell just your worst fucking like possible fucking like eternity? And what would that be? Like if I was to say to you, Oz, you just died right now. I'm the devil and you're going to hell, and your hell is what? What would you say? What would you think it would be?
That's a few things. Well, it's going to church every Sunday. It's kind of being I'm being quite serious. Being surrounded by being around the people, like surrounded by the people that I grew up with. I mean, living in that under that Christian worldview, like that is that's a form of hell for me.
I'm with you.
Your hell will be an eternal church.
100%. I am with you. That is also
that's one of them. And then being subjected to having a family, because I ain't fucking having kids. I've been sterile for 10 years. So best fucking decision I ever made.
Yeah.
Like next to picking up mixed martial arts, that's like still like one of the best decisions I ever made. And like this, because it's a that between Ty and getting LASIK surgery.
Yeah. Yeah, I got sterile after one kid, so I'm not as good as you, but it was still a good decision.
I support your decision, sir.
Yeah.
I have yet to do that. I will one day, but I ain't having no more kids.
I'll kick you in the nuts for $20.
Yeah.
Also kind of just dealing, like being around, like being heavily involved in politics. Like thinking back on it, like I've never, I kind of held Republican views for, a decent part of my life, but we had to do a government. I don't know, Matt, I can't speak for you, but because I went to high school in Virginia, we had to do government class our senior year. We had to part of the class for the final grade was like you had to do like 10 hours or 8 hours or something like that of community service. And I volunteered to help some local dude who was running for Congress, or I think it was Congress for his district. And people
What
were
party?
it was for the Republican Party, but I just went to hand out ballots the morning of the election, and people were just fucking mean to each other.
Yeah.
Like for no fucking reason. They were just like yelling at each other, scowling at each other. It was just like nobody like started throwing hands, but it wouldn't have surprised me if we had seen that. I'm just like, dude, I don't want to be around this shit at all.
Yeah.
Like fuck politics, seriously.
Yeah.
Do you guys think Joe Biden is dead, or are you guys idiots? Which one? Which one of this? I think Joe Biden died 10 days ago.
He's dead.
I'm sorry.
I don't care.
Okay. I don't care either.
He might not be dead, but something happened to him. That's for sure.
Joe Biden's dead. Okay.
Something happened to him. That's real.
He was murdered. That's what happened to him.
I don't know.
He wasn't giving up. He wasn't going to quit, and he was murdered. So,
it said put a pill in Grandpa's soup.
Hillary Clinton.
Notice the like I was saying earlier. Notice the overlap of the conversations that are coming up. So in addition to that list, we also have, let's see, we have 3 rows. Each one has 10 entries. All right, so here we go. In that same list, Church of Satan, Ordo Templi Orientis, or OTO, Temple of Set, Demonology, Witchcraft, Occult, Paganism, Santeria, Voodoo, Rosicrucians, Freemasonry, Knights Templar, Stoner Gangs, heavy metal music.
Sweet. He goes from Knight Templar.
Wait, what's Stoner? Stoners are too stoned to be in gangs.
It's
dude.
like I heard all these secret societies, all of a sudden it's just like
Stoner
stoner.
Oh, so I had actually in one of my criminology classes I came across this because I was curious about that because I thought it just meant gangs that got high, but no, apparently somewhere in California there was a gang called the Stoners. I mean, and getting high was also part of what they did, but apparently it wasn't like a nationwide thing, but apparently that was a thing, like there was an actual gang of stoners.
It was like warriors.
Yeah. Like, the people that put they put like bad people in the little wooden board with their head going through, and then they stone them to death. or is this like people smoking weed? There's a large difference here.
Well, it's a gang that smoked weed.
Yeah, okay.
They were also violent.
That's
so I think
different,
this was also this was the thing.
This cult gets nothing done.
Probably not.
Yeah, it's not a cult. Yeah,
They just have ideologies. There's no action.
right. Yeah.
So we have after rock music, we have heavy metal music, rock music, the KKK, Nazis, skinheads, Matt's favorite, Scientology,
Yeah.
the Unification Church, the Way, Hare Krishna, Rajneesh, our boy from Oregon,
Fucking Rajneesh.
religious cults, the New Age, astrology, channeling, meaning like communicating with spirits, transcendental meditation, holistic medicine, Buddhism, Hinduism, Mormonism, Islam, the Orthodox Church, and Roman Catholicism.
So
Wait, they put all these in the same.
These
are under
all in the
Satan.
the same section. These are all considered satanic.
So basically everything that's not them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it seems like it.
So I'm Roman Catholic. As I was growing, I've gone through all of the. I've been baptized. I've had confirmation and first communion, all that shit. So I'm basically a witch. I'm basically satanic. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Whatever.
Witchcraft, paganism, and the occult are most often referred to as forms of Satanism. Well,
Roman Catholicism is pretty fucking wild.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. Like it's pretty fucking wild. Like the angels and saints and all that bullshit. It's pretty fucking wild.
Well, and then
but it's pretty wild.
Yeah, and then he goes on to say occultism simply means hidden. Well, no shit. I mean, but you could also say that believing in God could also be cultic because God is, hidden.
Well,
You don't
what's
see
not
him.
saying? What's not satanic then?
Yeah, I think they're kind of just making up as they go, as in they things they don't like, they just say are satanic.
Yeah.
I mean,
You guys want to hear a quick funny story about some Roman Catholic? Well, it's not. It's actually the end is funny. The lead up to it is fucked up and not.
I
funny.
love funny Roman Catholic stories.
Yeah. So yeah.
As
so,
someone who was abused by a nun physically,
yeah,
let's hear
it has to do with abuse.
with the Mike Tyson jab to the head.
One of my best friends in high school, his name was Joe. His family was Roman Catholic. As a matter of fact,
Great stories.
they had moved down here from Rome, New York.
Ooh.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he went to RCH, like all that shit.
Yeah.
They come down here, and there's this one Roman Catholic church in Stafford that is like huge, and tons of people go there. They have to get the police to do the traffic from it. It's like one of those.
Yeah.
And at some point, I think we were like juniors in high school. His little sister, who at the time I think was in middle school, accused the priest there of like molesting her, like a bunch of times, and no one would fucking believe her. No one, which is so fucked up. But this is in the mid '90s.
Yep.
Nobody believed that shit was real back then.
Yeah.
So they, this little girl who was getting fucking molested by a Roman Catholic priest, just was like, I'm sure she's still fucked up to this day in the head because of this.
Yeah.
So her brother and I were like, fuck this motherfucker. So, we didn't want to do anything illegal and go to fucking jail.
Right.
But so what we would do is, when we were raising hell out at night on the weekends, being teenagers, because that you could do that in the 90s.
Yeah.
We just, because the preacher's house was at the church, right next to the church.
The rectory, yeah.
So we would just go into that when we needed gas. We'd just drive into his fucking driveway and siphon the gas out of his car into my buddy Joe's car. We did this shit all the time.
The gas of Christ.
Yeah, all the time. All the time. Yeah, we
Holy
never
gold.
paid
Gold.
for gas.
Holy gold.
Yeah. Fuck that
Yeah.
guy. But we were teenagers, so we couldn't fucking really do anything other than just fuck with him. So
Well,
Yeah, it's
Matt,
a rectory. With the priest lives in rectories, the nuns live in convents. So yeah.
the fucked up thing, Matt, is that she wasn't believed, but there were crimes all like this happened in Canada and different parts of the United States where cases of satanic abuse were not rampant, but they caught enough mainstream attention where this was a thing on the news, kind of like the thing Ron sent us that I played earlier.
Mhm.
And that this was a legitimate concern for people because it was sensational enough to stir a moral panic. So they were able to get enough politicians that had interested to where it got, airtime, and suddenly for a little bit, this was a case where you had kids that were alleging satanic abuse, and there's a case of can't remember the name of the preschool, but in California, but the kids were telling these stories about how the satanic rituals were going on in the basement of this daycare house.
Mhm.
Well, come to find out that the house didn't have a basement, for one thing, and because this was the moral panic of the time, when the investigators were interviewing the kids, they would use leading kind of questions to get the kids to answer the questions the way they wanted them to to get convictions and charge for crimes.
Yep.
And
so witch hunt, basically.
it was pretty much a modern kind of a contemporary McCarthy hearing, and people went to jail.
Yeah, it's so fucked
People
up.
actually did time for this, and
Satanists, like for real.
I went
about the pot calling the kettle black. Jesus.
well, and there's also a whole lot of research in psychology for false memories or what. And I had a class with Elizabeth Loftus, who was kind of the pioneer psychologist in this field, and I had a small class with her, and I had a chance to ask her about some of this stuff, and Yeah, she was an expert witness for um how false memories can be implanted, and it's actually pretty easy. They've done multiple series of studies where people were told that they had memories of things that never occurred, and apparently it's a pretty easy thing to do.
Yeah.
So it's very very interesting how some of this shit happens. It's fucking stupid, but it's also pretty interesting how it happens.
Right.
But
yeah, like the psychology aspect of some of the shit. Yeah, it's fascinating how the human mind can do some weird shit.
there was enough of this to to get people that to actually do time for this. So it's pretty to an extent it's pretty fucked up. But it's more like you had I think you had a lot of Christians who were enthusiastic to get that kind of stuff going. So what do you think, guys? How satanic are we, or is it that, or is it just, are we just kind of doing what they did and kind of just making up, adding definitions to the things we don't like?
It's hard for me to take anything seriously because I grew up Roman Catholic and I went to Catholic school as a kid. And I was abused by a nun physically. The only thing that makes sense to me is that we live in a simulation. So I feel like I almost have to recuse myself because I honestly believe that we do live in a simulation.
Yeah, I too.
I it's almost like if I don't believe that, I will kill myself because everything is so fucking bonkers. That's the only thing. The only way that can make sense of shit is that we live in a fucking simulation.
It's hard not to believe that when you start to look at the actual physical evidence that has been
right. And when you look at the scientists who are involved in stuff like that,
yeah,
and you see that the chances are it's like it's like 50 to 80% that we actually do live in a simulation.
All one has to do to start asking some serious questions about our reality is just study a little bit about how quantum computers work.
Yeah.
Read into it for about an hour and you will really start to question a lot of fucking things.
Also, like Kamala Harris is going to be the next president of the United States.
No,
That only happens by living in a simulation.
That's not happening. There's no.
It's going to happen.
There's no fucking.
They're not going to let that not happen.
There's no fucking way that happens.
They're not going to let that not happen, dude.
Fucking.
That is going to fucking. In November, Kamala Harris will be the first female president of the United States. There's no way they're not going to let that not happen because we live in a fucking simulation.
Right, getting Trump survived a bullet shot. We really assassination attempt. He's the second coming of Jesus or third coming or whatever.
Let me say this right now, and this will get me canceled again. I'm not voting for either of them. I'm voting for Robert F. Kennedy Jr. because I love him and I think he's the best thing. He's by far the best candidate that this country could have right now.
He is. He's the most qualified. He is.
I checked out a lot of mentally checked out of this stuff like as far as the politics goes a long time ago because it just we don't get anywhere. I mean, like I enjoy the rants. I just we don't really get anywhere. I have my thoughts.
It's all just fucking virtue signaling anyway.
It's crazy.
I mean, everybody does it. Yeah, I mean, we're kind of doing it right now.
Yeah,
it's just it's like it's seriously just whatever. Like the shit's not gonna matter. You know, we're in August, so we have 3 months to the election. This is not gonna matter.
No.
November 5th is not. None of this is gonna matter. No. And then we'll be on to the next fucking thing.
They hate us.
Yeah. And then we'll be thinking about what the fuck else we're gonna talk about.
Yeah.
This is part of the reason why I say we're in hell.
Yeah. And simulation. As far as the simulation theory, so this has been going on for this is a bad example of what I do with my free time, but I went back and listened to the our backlog of episodes in preparation for tonight, and we've covered quite a bit in 3 years, and it's maybe been like I think we're between 10 and 15 episodes, me being on here, and we've covered a lot of big kind of existential shit, and and I brought this up one time, but Gnostic Christianity, it's seriously some fucking out there stuff because like this around the same period of time, and I can't remember the dates, but it's shortly after Jesus died when his brother, I want to say it was James, took over his ministry, and they had the church in Jerusalem, and but not too long after he died, like there was this is kind of like before the church gained prominence. There were multiple sorry. There were multiple strands of Christianity going on at that time. The Gnostics were one of them, and they essentially had a belief system that was very different than what would be the Catholic Church had. So they essentially thought that we were living in a simulation, and that that the Hebrew God of the Bible, Yahweh, was not the actual God. They thought that the God who created everything had no direct involvement in the creation of humanity and everything that we see. That the Yahweh that they were praying to was what's called an archon, which are kind of like demons. They would essentially be the equivalent of demons, and that we all had that divine spark, which I've talked about before, and every kind of religion points to this to some degree, that there's something within us that is some direct connection to the divine or the highest God or whatever. So the idea of us living in a simulation is not that new. It's just that it's kind of, you had the Catholic Church gain prominence through whatever fucking means, and suppress that. But luckily, a lot of it survived. And there's a great show that I listen to called Aeon Byte, and they talk a lot about Gnosticism in the contemporary day, and how that a lot of the shit going on, like we're seriously living in like the fucking Matrix.
So like essentially Yahweh was just like a computer programmer, and God was like his team lead.
Yeah, essentially God had no direct involvement. God, in the terms of we're thinking of, had no direct involvement in our existence, in our creation, but we're connected to him still because we have a spark of him within us.
Yeah. If we don't live in a simulation, I hate everybody so much that I'm going to hell anyway. So I have to believe we live in a simulation. That's my belief system.
Which?
Blasphemer.
Just out of curiosity, how long are you guys trying to go tonight?
Whatever. Yeah.
All right. Because I did prepare a question. I did prepare a game for us.
All right, let's do it.
All right. So it's a question game. So we do have a point scale. So if you're listening at home and you want to destroy what remaining brain cells you have left, you can come with us on this journey. All right. So I have 44 questions. So each question is 100 points. So we're on a scale of 4,400 points. So 4,400 points. And there are consequences. So if you have a score of 0, very unlikely, you are you believe that Trump is going to be the Messiah and that he's going to save us all from our sins. And
0 points.
Yes, and a handful of other things that kind of go along with that, and that everything's conspiracy.
Yeah.
The median is that if you have what was it, 4,400 points to 2,200, so about mid-range, you're a normie. Who fucking cares?
Yeah.
And if you have above 2,200 points, you're a wannabe edgelord who fucking plays Quidditch.
Ooh.
Fuck yeah. Let's do this.
I know I've probably alienated a handful of people out there, but whatever.
Fuck that handful.
So
suck my dick. All everybody in that handful can.
So it kind of in staying with tradition. Some of these questions are going to be authentic based on some of the stuff that I've read off this list, and some of them are going to be more directly pointed. Right. Kind of based on the catalog of things that we've covered. So if you've stayed with us and with me, you've stayed with our Brains Hurt and have a particular fascination with listening to my episodes, which I hope you do, because I think I'm fun. I think I'm pretty cool.
I told Matt you're my favorite guest because I just get drunk and be silly. Yeah.
So I think I'm pretty cool. So if you have a working knowledge of some of the stuff we've talked about, then I think you'll have fun. All right. So this is going to require you to do some math and keep some score, but
Okay.
you know, it's 100 points. I try to make it pretty easy to follow.
All right.
All right. So we have 44 questions. Here we go. Question 1. After hearing the meaning of Satan or Satanism for the second time, you use the term satanic correctly.
After hearing the meaning of Satanism for the second time, is that what you said?
Yes. Because that's after listening to because I've said this in another episode.
Do I think I use the word satanic correctly?
As in we know that it means enemy.
Mm.
As in the actual like meaning of the term, not how it's colloquially used,
Yeah.
popularly used, but do you use the term correctly?
I'm gonna say yes for me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Add 100 points. Just if you do not use it correctly, if you use it to refer to any of the things that we've discussed. So if you use it to that ungodly list that I said,
No, then I wouldn't use it correctly.
okay. If you did not use it correctly, add 100 points to your score.
I'm at 100.
If I do use it correctly, add 100?
If you do not use it correctly, add 100 points to your score.
Oh. But if you do use it correctly.
Well, all those things.
Don't worry about it then.
All those things that we were talking about earlier. If you call all of those satanic in real life, then you are using it correctly.
Yeah. No, if you that list that I read off. Fortune tellers, horoscopes, rock music, judo, karate.
Yeah.
That whole list. If you use it in regards to any of those things, add 100 points to your score.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, so I don't add 100 points to my score because
I'm zero.
I refer to rock music as satanic.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you use it to that any of that list. So again, fortune tellers, horoscopes, fraternity oaths, vegetarianism, yoga, and then
I don't call any of those things satanic.
Okay. So Matt, you don't add 100 points to your score. Ron, if you don't consider any of those things satanic.
Yeah, so we're both zero then. Yeah.
Okay, so we're all zero.
Yeah.
Number 2, have you ever bought black candles? If you have, add 100 points to your score.
Yes, I have bought
black candles.
Black candles.
No, I haven't.
You're the candle guy. You've never bought a black candle? I can't believe you've never bought a black candle, even just like not purposefully, but just like, oh, this is a cool candle. I'm gonna buy this one.
I don't think so. Yeah,
I have like the smelly ones. There's a couple ones that smell awesome.
Maybe back in the day I did.
Scented candles do not count. They have to be the color black.
Okay.
Well,
yeah,
there's some scented candles that are the color black.
This is the color pure.
Actually,
that's white wax, Ron.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. I honestly don't know because I've bought many scented candles and they might have been black. I'm not honestly sure. So I'll add to my score just because I'm not honestly sure. All right. Question 3. Have you ever used a pentagram, as in worn one, drawn one, or posted one on the wall of your bedroom or anywhere else?
100% yes.
Okay, then add 100 points to the score.
I'm no, definitely.
Okay, then don't worry about it then.
Okay. Can I tell you a quick story about a pentagram?
Yeah,
sure.
Very quick.
We got time.
When I was in high school, or actually no, this was like right after high school. I was like 18 or 19. We were waiting for the UPS man to show up to my friend's house because they had a package of something that we needed before we were like leaving on a trip.
Right.
And so it was supposed to have been there at a certain time, and it hadn't shown up. But like we knew it was getting delivered, so we were bored out in the cul-de-sac. So we drew this huge, just to fuck with the UPS driver when he got there. We drew this huge fucking pentagram in the cul-de-sac and put candles around it and a bunch of stuffed animals in there. Nice. And then we sat down meditation style, and we're like at 3 points of it, like with our eyes closed, meditation style, when the UPS driver pulled up to deliver the package. And I think we had like a stuffed animal with like fake blood all over it in the middle of the pentagram too.
Nice. Fucking classic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I got out and he was like, is this for you guys? And we're like, yeah, thanks, man. Just don't drive through the pentagram on your way out. That would be
all right.
Awesome.
Nice. Fucking awesome. All right. Question 4. Have you ever shopped at Hot Topic or Sam Goody or Tower Records?
Yes. Tower for sure. All
right.
All of them, all 3 of them I have at some point.
Add 100 points for each one you've shopped at. I've only bought one CD. I've only bought one CD from Hot Topic. It was a Fly Leap's second album.
That was question 3. I'm the moron that's not keeping my score.
So add 100 points for each one that you've shopped at.
I've only shot the tower, so I'm only at 100 points so far.
All right. So Matt, you good?
Oh, no, I need a pen.
All right. Question 5. Have you ever played Dungeons and Dragons?
Yep.
Nope.
I have the third one on PlayStation 5, so I will count that.
Let me say this about this 5th question.
Yep.
When I was growing up, I was in junior high, I think, and I wanted to play Dungeons and Dragons so bad because I had some friends in the neighborhood who played it, and my dad, I love you, Dad, was like, I don't want you playing that shit because only weird kids play that shit. And so I never played Dungeons and Dragons. I have 100 points for number 4, but I'm still
That's it.
No
Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, that's it.
I'm
like Christ, basically.
we have 40 39 more questions to go, so don't worry. There's still hope for you. None of these things are
the
rankings.
Dungeons and Dragons at 100. Is that what the score?
Yes.
Was? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Each question, unless otherwise specified, is 100 points.
Okay. Cool.
Question 6. Ever listen to hard rock? That should be an immediate 100 points for everybody.
Yeah, 100 points for sure.
Hard rock.
By the way, these are extreme. I try to think of like the most insulting, but non-confrontational rankings for the ends of the spectrum, and about the most. You don't really want to be any of these things, so that was a twist, Matt.
Yeah.
All right. Have you ever attended a church service? Doesn't matter which kind.
Yes.
All right, there you go. At 100 points.
That's number 7.
That's number 7.
100 points.
100 points. Have you ever gone to a fortune teller? All right. If you have, add 100 points to your score.
Yeah, I haven't either.
All right. Never mind. Number 9. Have you ever read your horoscope?
Yeah.
Yes, this includes just glancing over it in the paper.
100 points.
Yep. Yep. If you have, add 100 points to your score.
Okay.
Number 10. Have you ever joined a fraternity?
No.
If you have, join 100 points. Add 100 points to your score. Number 11. Have you engaged in self-hypnosis?
Self-hypnosis?
Yeah, they're not very clear on what they mean by that. Is it if you've?
Well, no.
I think what they're referring to is if you've gone to like a specialist and engaged in hypno, like no, there are videos on YouTube you can listen to like self-hypnosis videos.
Like tried to hypnotize yourself to like get rid of addiction or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. All right, number 12. Have you engaged in relaxation tapes? Yes. If you have, add 100 points to your score. Number 13. Have you had acupuncture? If you have, add 100 points to your score. Number 14. Have you used biofeedback? Yeah, you know what? I'm not quite sure what the hell they meant by this. So we'll look at what biofeedback means.
Like biofeedback would be like wearing a heart monitor.
So you think that would include smartwatches?
Yes. I believe that's what biofeedback.
Okay. So if you biofeedback, meaning if you've used a smartwatch or a smart device to monitor any aspect of your health, add 100 points. Number 15. Have you played fantasy-based role-playing games? This is not necessarily Dungeons and Dragons because there's a distinction to be made here. So if you have ever played a role-playing game, whether it's with a group of your friends using like pen and paper, or a video game or a computer game, so Final Fantasy.
Do fantasy sports count?
Yes, they do.
They do. Okay.
If you've ever played an RPG role-playing game of any kind, add 100 points to your score. That includes fantasy sports. All right, number 16. Have you committed adultery? If you have, add 100 points to your score. Have you watched and partaken in pornography? Have you studied? Let's see. This should be question 18. Have you studied judo? If you have, add 100 points to your score.
Nope, no judo for me.
Number 19. Have you studied karate? Yes, I have.
No.
I also haven't done that.
If you have, so add 100 points to your score. Number 20. Do you wear black? If you do, add 100 points to your score.
What do you mean black? Like all the time, or
just anytime ever?
I have
I'm just gonna say, just you have black in your wardrobe.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the entirety of my wardrobe, for no particular reason other than my fashion statement is I really enjoyed the Boondock Saints.
I don't
Oh
know.
my god, the fucking best movie of all time.
Yeah,
Thank you. Yeah.
Great.
Oh my god,
I don't know if
I
I've
fucking
ever
love
seen
that movie.
Oz wear anything but black. I think maybe one time I saw him wear like he had like a gunmetal gray pants on, but that was like
Oh.
one time.
yeah. So I wear 3 colors approximately: gray, blue, and black. All right. Question 21: have you ever done yoga?
Yes.
If you have, at 100 points.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have.
Yeah, same. 22: are you fascinated by serial killers? If yes, do you want to fuck and or have a relationship with one?
Well,
Fuck.
All right, so here's a twist.
I would
Here's
fuck
one of the-
Eileen Warnos. So I guess yeah.
All right, so just add 100 points to your score.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? No. Here's this one also had a twist. If you wanted to fuck and or have a relationship with one, add 200 points to your score.
200.
So 200.
Okay.
So if you answered yes to both,
Okay.
you are adding 300 points to your score. We should be at question 23. Sorry. Have you had Christmas flavored hard seltzers?
oh yeah, we had those on this podcast.
There you go. And this is where I say your question. Some of my questions start getting
Hey,
pointed.
Christmas flavored hard seltzer.
Yeah, both him and I drank them the same night, if I remember
the
correctly.
Bud Light, the
Yeah,
Bud Light variety.
Look what I'm
Yeah.
eating right now.
Palmer's chocolate.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry, sir. We'll get to that one. 24. Do you love Harry Potter? If you do, add 100 points.
Yay, I don't love
Not a
Harry
fan.
Potter.
25. If you answered yes to the last question, do or did you play Quidditch in college?
No, I like pussy.
If you answered yes, add an additional 500 points to your score.
Yeah, no Quidditch for me either.
If you answered yes, add an additional 500 points to your score.
Fuck no.
For Quidditch?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Have you ever bought merchandise for ceremonial magic purposes? So this is kind of including the robes and or wands or
Robes?
ceremonial daggers.
Oh.
That does not include buying knives for utilitarian and practical purposes.
I actually don't think I've ever done that.
All right, then don't worry about it. 27.
But wait. Bought them? Because like we have to buy get the robes for like high school graduation. Does that count? It's like a ceremony.
Having never walked in a
No.
graduation ceremony, I'm gonna say, you know what? If you did that, add 100 points to your score. I don't care. Fuck them.
Yeah, all right.
This is also coming from somebody who said to me when I said I wasn't walking, "You're gonna regret it." Fuck you.
Yeah.
I went to for high school graduation. My brother was moving out of his college college dwellings, and I basically went and took everything that I wanted from his place, and then I got home the next night in the late the next day after having Sonic Drive-In, and on my way home, and I slept for 4 hours in the afternoon and got up about 6 or 7 at night on graduation day, went over to a buddy's place and shot pool till 4 a.m. It was a great fucking high school graduation.
Awesome.
Number 27. Did you watch Game of Thrones every week?
Yeah.
No.
I guess this is still relevant because of that one fucking show the new show they started. So if you said yes to the new series or the old one, add 100 points to score.
I've never seen one episode of Game of
No
Thrones.
shit. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
I didn't either. I
the
had
only person in existence, I feel like.
no. You ain't alone.
Oh, you
Fuck you. You ain't alone.
Great,
No.
great story
Oh.
and great titties.
This is why we're friends. This is why we're friends.
All right, number 28. Did you eat Palmer's chocolate?
You know what? You can suck my dick.
You just ate some. I watched you.
I'm eating some
Add-
right now.
Add
This is
200
my
points
fourth
to your score. If you had to think about it,
God damn it!
add 100 points.
I just dropped in it.
All right, we're in the last 13. Here we go.
Okay.
Does your version of heaven have pubes? If it does, add 100 points.
Ron's doesn't.
It does not. Why? Why would it?
Mine does.
Number
Just
30.
getting the-
Have you purchased a Trumpy bear? If you have, add 100 points to your score.
I have
Nope.
not yet. I will, but I have not.
31. Have you read or listened to Cryptoerotica? If you have, add 100 points to your score.
We've read crypto erotica on this podcast. So
Have we?
Yes, we have.
Okay.
That's more important at me so to show that I'm not immune to the question since I came up with them.
Yeah,
How many points is that?
remember the Bigfoot.
That's 100.
Remember the Bigfoot romance novel?
Seduced by
yeah,
Bigfoot,
yeah.
raptured by the Yeti. I'm still waiting for the sequel. I'm waiting for the audiobook. I will listen to it. It was the best $4.16 I've ever spent on a piece of media.
Please tell me they did voices and acted stuff out.
She sure did.
Oh yeah.
I mean, apparently it's the author reading it, and it's like
Yeah.
it's about as good
Awesome
as you think the author could do, and it's. I mean, she changed her tone, but it's just kind of like it almost sounds like a bad reading of Twilight, if you can imagine such a thing. Because I listened to that too, and I listened to 50 Shades of Grey because I hate myself. And yeah, there's for 50 Shades, I wouldn't recommend it because there's like periods where they read email, the reader reads the emails back and forth between the two characters and reads the timestamps too. And I'm just like, oh my God, I can't. I killed a whole bottle of vodka listening to that. I'm like, this doesn't get better the more you drink. This is hell.
Yep. I agree. Fully agree.
Yeah. No, like that was a rough period in life. All right. 32. Have you ever eaten out of the trash?
I have not.
Why?
But Matt...
How could you ever come up with this question?
Gee, let me think.
Score 100.
All right, this doesn't necessarily refer to us, but in May, have you ever eaten sugar-free gummy bears?
Ugh.
No.
I have.
Accident. It was the worst.
I've wanted to, mainly just purely from reading reviews on Amazon.
Yeah.
I had like a pack of gummy bears at some point and opened it and started eating it. The first one I popped in my mouth, I was like, oh, what is this? Garbage.
If you have, add 100 points to your score.
Yeah.
I repeat, if you have, add 100 points to your score.
Yeah, I added 100 points.
All right. 34. Have you ever ordered KFC dinner for Christmas? That goes back to a very particular episode.
Does just the coleslaw count?
Just go.
It's we if you want to, we can count that as a side that was ordered for Christmas.
Because KFC actually does have really good coleslaw. It's like,
They do. Their
And
potato wedges are also bitching.
there was definitely several Christmases where my mom bought KFC, only like giant tubs of KFC coleslaw for
I
Christmas.
mean, we can
it was-
count that if you want to add 100 points to your score. Go for it.
Yeah, I'll take 100 for that one. They
Okay.
have really good fucking coleslaw. Their coleslaw is awesome.
All right. I think we're done with the last 9 or 10 questions, and this is just stuff that annoys me, seeing as how that people just clearly made shit up because they didn't fucking like it for one reason or another. So I decided to do the same thing. So this is we're kind of just getting into shit that annoys me now. Let's see. Are you super into your dog or pet, as in referring to them as referring to yourself as a dog mom or a dog dad or a cat mom or a cat dad or whatever the fuck pet you have?
Yes.
Yeah, that's happened before.
Okay. If you do, add 100 points to your score. 36. And this is kind of more relevant. Have you ever shared memes of Sydney Sweetie or the Hawk Tuit girl?
Not yet, but
If you have, add
it might happen.
500 points to your score.
Wow.
It might happen at some point, but not yet.
37. You drive a Tesla.
Nope.
If you do, add 100 points to your score. 38. Do you ask people if they have kids?
Yeah.
If you do, add 100 points to your score.
I mean, I have.
Things that I've experienced as an adult that I don't quite understand why people do this. And in complete honesty, I find it a little fucking creepy. It's like, do you have kids? No, no. And if you guys have been paying attention, I clearly don't. It's not really something that I get into because I've also read studies on this where people have college students, not that that's a great sample to begin with, have rated people that don't have kids as being like evil or eviler. And it's just like, you know what fucking business of that is yours?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
39. Do you get through your holidays being drunk?
I mean, it helps.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, I don't have to be drunk to
Right.
get through the holidays, but I am drunk getting through the holidays. So
I know, Matt. That was that question was crafted in regards to one of the things that you said during one of our holiday episodes.
I love Thanksgiving. Everybody should have the tradition of oyster shooters during the day on Thanksgiving leading up to Thanksgiving dinner.
Agreed.
That is like one of the funnest things ever. Shucking oysters, eating oysters, taking oyster shooters just all day long until fucking dinner's ready.
Yeah.
It's a blast. It's a total blast.
I kind of fucked this up a little bit. There was a redundant question, so we should be at number 40.
Oh,
So
yeah.
there's 4,200 points
That's
total.
100 for me.
All right,
Oh, yeah.
41.
Right.
Do you know shit about aliens? As in, do you know things about aliens? Not do you know jack shit about aliens?
Yeah, like
For clarity, you know stuff about it. Do you know anything about aliens? There you go. That's the question. And I mean the kind from outer space.
or do you think you know anything about
Yes.
aliens? Really
Yes.
is what the question. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep, 100 points for me.
42. Have you watched Santa themed porn?
Watch what?
Santa themed porn.
Santa theme porn?
Yes, porn where that features Santa Claus or
Not
any
on
Santa
not
theme.
on
No,
purpose.
I don't think so. No.
not on purpose, but yeah.
Care to share with the class, Matt?
Well, it's just like clicked on a video one time. I was like, "There's a dude in a Santa." It was like a thumbnail. I was like, "There's a dude in a Santa costume in this." Yeah, I'll click on it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I want to see what that's about.
Yeah, fantastic. That's fantastic. All right. If you have no judgment, add 100 points to your score.
Yeah, I figured as much. It's
Yeah.
already on there.
All right, last one, 43. No, it should be 42. All right. Are you into Duck Hunt? As in the Duck Hunt game for Nintendo Entertainment System with the blaster that you point at the screen to shoot the fucking ducks and that annoying fucking ass dog you want to shoot, but you really can't.
Fuck yeah, I used to play that all the time when I was a
It's play
kid.
all the time, yeah.
Yeah, that was also in regards to it was a recent episode that I listened to with you guys where you guys talked about the OBH fan base being into Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
All right. So 42 questions, 100 points each. Let's total our scores.
Mine is 1,600.
You fall in the latter category, the earlier category of being in thinking that Trump is the Messiah.
How much? Oz, how much is yours?
I'm still adding 100, 400, 23. I have 2,350 points.
Ha! I win. I have a cool and even 3,000.
So yeah, so Matt has the
I win. I'm the most Satanic, I guess.
Matt, do you want me to send your broom through Amazon? Because you should probably look for Quidditch team to join. I think Mason has one.
The funny thing is too is I don't even believe Satan is a real thing. Like I don't believe in God. I don't believe in Satan. So like, which that's the most hilarious thing too. Is those are all the things that Satan worshipers do. I don't worship Satan because I don't believe in him.
Okay,
but it's fun. But it's fun to make people think you do.
Yeah, it is. So I have a thought on that too, Matt. This is something that we've also discussed in the past couple of years. All right, so in case there's anybody interested, University of Mary Washington does have a Quidditch team. Probably leave that in, Ron. I don't know, fucking know. Also, yes,
a video of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Satanism, I personally don't know anybody who's into Satanism. I've heard the religion is very self-empowering. I think that's great, but I think you may as well just call yourselves Christians, because the
Yeah.
fact that you are identifying with a Christian symbol,
Yep.
you may as well go to church with the people that go on Sundays.
Yeah.
Like
Totally.
same shit. You're still embracing that some aspect of that tradition, even if you're trying to fight it.
You're embracing that story, that
Yeah.
whole thing
Yeah.
is
You're embracing that whole fucking narrative.
so you are Christian.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't understand what the big deal is. So because y'all are sucking the same dick. So
Well, it's the same thing it is with
Yep.
all religions throughout the world. My God can beat up your God.
Yeah.
That's all that is.
so here's an idea, and again, probably gonna alienate a lot of folks, but this probably something I need to hear. Let it go.
Yep.
Let it go. Don't
Yeah.
entertain it.
It's hard
Yo.
for people to do that. Yeah.
You know what? Life is
Witch.
yeah. When you exhale that shit out of your life, and you just kind of go with what reality presents to you, it's fine. Shit's fine. Life goes on.
Yep.
Yeah, and
I don't know if you want to leave that in or not, Ron, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, but if you're a person that needs like the structure of organized religion, and you're not like this, and you're actually cool with other people, like that's cool too.
Yeah.
Like I have no care. I have no care in the world what you decide to believe, what you choose to believe. You can do that, and if you're cool. But yeah, because I'm sure there's plenty of people within organized religion who aren't scumbags.
Oh
but
yeah.
Sure as hell is a fucking lot of them who are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like, did you guys see the recent thing with Joel Osteen?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, some dude made a TikTok video. He was like outside the place, and Olstein was like walking by this like big bus or something, or getting off the bus, and the guy ran over to him and was like, "Hey Joel, can I get a picture or whatever?" And he was actually filming, and he put his arm around Joel Osteen like he was going to take a picture, but he was filming. And he looks at the camera and he looks over at Joel. He goes, "You know you're a piece of shit, right?" Joel Osteen looks at him. He's like, "You are, dude. You're a piece of shit. You know that, right?" Joel Osteen just kind of walks off and smiles. And he turns, and then the guy turns back to the camera. He's like, "Yeah, he's a piece of shit." So fucking great.
The other thing is that one of I make mention of my thesis often. I've probably written about I've done 4, not including the one I'm currently working on. But one of the ones I found, some of the information I found just real quick, is that people that have high self-esteem don't really get into it with folks that have differing beliefs.
Yeah.
So like self-esteem, what is it? Just kind of that sense of we have it, we can function. So start off with something like, hey, I can get up and move, or if I'm still breathing and there's still something I can do to make something a little bit better for somebody else or for myself or my family or whatever. Start with the basic things, and it's not doesn't have to be rocket science. A lot of fuckers think it needs to be, but it really doesn't.
Right.
So are we satanic? Doesn't fucking matter.
No.
No, this shit matters.
No. I mean, yes. I just was going to reiterate kind of the same, or again, a little bit differently, I guess, is for those of you out there in the world who actually aren't pieces of shit, who are religious, organized religious, you know who you are. We are not speaking to you. We like you because you guys are cool with us. So we're cool with you. We're disregard everything we've said, because we are not talking to you. We're talking to the actual douchebags and pieces of shit who stand behind a cross and think that makes them a good person.
Yeah. Thanks so much for doing this, man.
Yeah, man. Of course, anytime. You guys are a family at this point, and I appreciate you guys having me on and hanging out. So it's always a good time. I will always talk to you guys about whatever.
Awesome. Always one of my favorite episodes every time we hang out with you.
Thanks, man. I sincerely appreciate that.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys. I will let you go and enjoy the rest of your evening. It's
all right, man.
Kind of getting late, and the week is ahead of it. So go enjoy, and I will talk to you guys soon.
All right, man.
Always a pleasure, brother.
Matt, thank you. It's always a pleasure. Seriously.
We will see you at the brewery on September 21st.
Yes.
Absolutely. And I'll probably be behind a curtain or in a corner.
Yeah, unless of course we do another episode before then and see you before then.
All right, man.
You as well.
Guys. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.
Later.
Later, man.
How do I do this shit? I can still hear you. So what do I have to press? Close.